It is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. Yes, I've got Peter behind hanging out on the desk because I'm broadcasting, so he has to come lay on the desk, and that's fine. I like it. It's fantastic. It's good stuff. We are going to go to our next guest, who is going to join us live as live can get on the big broadcast here. The Blood Moon Howlers. Blood Moon Howlers. Those guys. We're going to see what happens here. Wow. My mic got sent to the moon because of Peter. Let's try this. Let's see if we can find the... Peter just turned my mic off. Fantastic. Brother. We'll do that. Let's see here. Let's try this again. I think I can answer the phone or answer the Skype, and there we go. I think we might have ourselves a musician, maybe. A musician or two, as they say. And we are back live here on our world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. We are going to bring in all of our fun folks here. And I was originally going to try this. We have been trying this Instagram Live thing today, but I gave up on that. So we are we're gonna try that again a different day, because I think that's, I don't know. It certainly is not working to where I thought it would be a really cool deal, but it's more of a train wreck and more of a problem. Apparently, the only way you can get on Instagram Live is to use something called Yellow Duck, which I've downloaded, which I really don't quite understand that either. We had a guest on earlier who wanted to know if I use OBS, and I said no, I use Manicam because it's easier, because I'm kind of an idiot. But we are going to go to our guests here in just a few seconds. We are going to be live on the Facebook, Periscope, and all these other places. And as Skype adjusts itself, I'll tell you, Skype has come a long way since me and Ross, the boss, the rebel-rousing ringleader, used to interview porn stars on Skype. Skype really has become a cool thing, and of course it's good during this whole pandemic thing. But we are going to go live to the old Skype, the old Skype-a-rooney, as I like to call it. And John Mosier's back with us with his Kansas City Royals gear. And Jaybird Wells has got her ears, and she's with us. She's broadcasting from her undisclosed location. And we have our guests with us. And supposedly somewhere there's an echo. I don't know what I'm hearing myself back for, but we'll fix it somewhere. The Blood Moon Howlers with us today. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Doing well.
So go ahead and introduce yourselves so we know who we're chatting with here today.
You want to start?
Sure, I'm Juju.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Brandon, over here, not with them in this other square.
You know, I made a Jeopardy reference earlier, and maybe we'll make a Hollywood Squares reference here today.
Yeah, you got a good thing going.
You know, what was it? Jim J. Bullock was on there. Wasn't he always the center square? But so Blood Moon Howlers. Tell me a little bit about what the hell the Blood Moon Howlers are.
Do you want to take it, Brandon?
Well, we are a band, for one, out of Los Angeles, California. And, you know, I think Juju always is the best with describing our music, because she has these very long adjectives to describe the sound. How would you
I do.
Yeah.
I think our adjectives are always changing every day.
We try to make them change every day.
Yeah.
If the RZA and Keith Richards gave birth to baby Krishna and it came to save the world with rock and roll. I think that's how we were describing our music
That's
last.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So, how did the Blood Moon Howlers start? Tell us a little about all this.
It started with Juju and I. We started singing together, doing just like acoustic songs and stuff, and then we eventually wanted to branch out and get weirder with the music that we were making and get louder with the music that we were making, and we ended up starting to jam around, and we ended up finding Brandon through playing shows, and all kind of, once we found Brandon, just kind of fell into place, and we've just been playing ever since.
Awesome. The Blood Moon Howlers with us today. They join us live here in our big program, and if you miss us on the live Sunday show, you can hear it on the mix each and every Tuesday. And with us today, the Blood Moon Howlers, and you can find them on Twitter at TheBMHBAND. And so talk to us about your social media following.
It's huge.
Yeah, we're always just trying to put out fun content for everybody and come up with just silly ideas, especially right now when we're all quarantined. We just came out with a new show called Beard Talk with the Blood Moon Howlers web series, where we all just talk about beards, basically. But yeah, we're on all different social medias. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
We're about to drop a new music video for the single we just released.
Nice.
So tell us
the
about
one you released on the 3rd?
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell us about this.
The video or the tune?
Both.
All right. Well, the song's called Moonlighters, and it's a song that we're super excited about. We wrote it while we needed an opening song, a real fun opening song for our last tour that we were doing. So we threw that together pretty quick, and it's just kind of went over well from day one. So we're real excited about the song. And then the video that we just put out was, I think it's really cool because it's just showing a lot of in-home dancing and stuff, which I think is super necessary right now for everyone. And it was we were able to make it with the quarantine restrictions right now, where we were able to.
We filmed the first half before the quarantine, and then we had to film the second half after the quarantine. So we had our film director direct through FaceTime, but we made it work. And so we're hoping it inspires a lot of dance party quarantine kind of action for people.
Uh-oh. We got problems. Who's calling me? I don't know.
Is it my game again?
No, it's not Mike Game. It's our next guest, but he's calling a little early, so we are going to go. We are continuing here with the Blood Moon Howlers, and our next guest will join us here in just a few moments, but he called in early. So go ahead and give us a little bit about the Blood Moon Howlers, about your website and what people can see when they head over there.
Oh, well, let's see. It's on our website right now.
We're hoping that the website is just a landing page to direct people to listen to the music.
Yeah.
I can't think of what's actually on it right now either. I think
we have some merch up on there. We got some posters. We got some cool shirts. We have stickers and magnets and stuff. We're actually coming up with a new shirt design, so that'll be available soon. We have custom tie-dye shirts and acid wash shirts and stuff, and CDs.
No hats?
We don't have any hats or beanies. We're actually going to make beanies.
Beanies has got to be the next step for sure.
And we want to make temporary tattoos. We're working on that.
Actually, the real one we want to do is we want to do a quarantine mask, but it'll be a beard.
Yeah.
That was the latest talk.
So with all this fascination with beards, I assume you've heard that song, If Your Dad Doesn't Have a Beard, You Got Two Moms?
I haven't heard that. But whoever sings that speaks the truth.
Yeah, very true.
Okay. question real quick here. I'm looking at your site and it's on the About page. Juju, were you the one that came up with the wording? Since not you having all the adjectives, it's got how you guys are a three-piece psychedelic swampy neo-noir blues rock band featuring both male and female vocal leads. And I'm like, okay, that's a lot of adjectives. Very good.
We had to cut that down too.
I'm just impressed that I didn't screw up any of the words that much.
Quite a mouthful.
You're a reader.
Oh, yeah.
We have got the Blood Moon Howlers with us today. We've got our next guest going to join us here in just a few moments. And so what do you guys have planned when this is all over with? Are you going on a tour, or are you going to put out a new record? Tell us about all this.
So we had a whole tour planned, and we have to at least postpone it. We're kind of just, taking it day by day with that. But whenever we can kind of get back out there, we have a bunch of like venues and stuff that we were supposed to play at. So we're going to figure that out. But we will tour again sometime in the future.
Yeah, we'll reschedule that tour. And then, we're working on an album as well.
Mm-hmm.
We have another single that we're probably going to release before we follow through with the whole album thing. But then we have it in the works, though.
I think we're going to take this quarantine time to our advantage of having the extra time, and we're fortunate enough to be able to work remotely because we both have studios that we work out of, and so use this time to create and write and use the home time, which sometimes can be rare when you're out on the road a lot, to our advantage the best that we can.
Awesome. We have got the Blood Moon Howlers with us today. Jay, do you have any questions for the band while we've got them here?
What inspired you guys to come together to work as a team?
It was a pretty natural meeting, I feel like. I mean, Juju and I had been singing together, and then we were playing with some other people and stuff, and then when we met Brandon at a show that we played, like I said, and then what ended up happening is that other drummer that we were playing with wasn't able to make a show, so we ended up hitting up Brandon, and right away from rehearsals, we just felt like we got along real good, and we enjoyed playing together. And the first show we played, it was like we just felt like a whole new band. So and just from there, it's just been getting better and better. So I mean, it was just enjoying each other's company. I think that really made us want to work together like this.
Yeah, I always relate a band to being in a relationship, because it's like all of us have played with a lot of really fantastic musicians. We've been fortunate, but there's like something when you all just click. And it's almost like the technicality of how well you play doesn't matter. It's like the energy and the vibe of how you relate, where you go like, well, whatever's going on right now, we just need to keep it going because this just feels really good, and we just enjoy hanging out and creating together. And I think that's why I was like, yeah, I'm on board right away.
Nice.
We have got a great guest with us today. They join us live. The Blood Moon Howlers are with us here on our big program. And so talk to me about some of your different musical heroes and inspirations.
Ooh. Want to start, Matt?
We have so
Sure.
many.
Yeah, this is always like the impossible one, but I think when we had to whittle it down last interview, it was I think the biggest one's probably Tom Waits, like one of the absolute favorites. All of the old blues guys, Howlin' Wolf, Buddy Guy, and all those dudes. And I mean, of course, like Hendrix, all the 70s like psychedelic rock, Led Zeppelin, and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of interesting things in there too. Like a lot of us enjoy like funk music, like a lot of the Funkadelic Parliament stuff, or Nile Rodgers with like the Chic stuff, and like that record he did with Daft Punk, and all kinds of different things,
I was really into like Ella Fitzgerald and Etta James growing up, and a lot of Motown, and kind of all different types of genres and stuff.
When Juju and I started playing together, we started playing a lot of jazz music, and so there's like a little bit of that influence that always finds a way into our music and creeps its way in with some weird jazz dude chords every now and then.
And Brandon, Brandon has a lot of different inspirations too.
Well, I think what's fun is like when we write together, Matt and Juju will come to me with an idea, and they won't say anything about like, hey, I was listening to a lot of this. They'll come to me with something, and I'll hear something completely different over because maybe I was listening to a lot of West African music that week, and so I'll hear a completely different beat over it, where it's not like, oh, here's your typical blues beat, here's your typical rock beat. Where I think that's the benefit of having a lot of eclectic musical tastes is you hear things different depending on what you're being influenced by that week. Growing up, I listened to a lot of Parliament Funkadelic, like they raised me practically, and then a lot of Tool, a lot of Zeppelin, Chili Peppers.
That's
so
awesome.
I think we hear things differently when we come together and write, and that's what's kind of fun is we try not to keep it like, oh, here's your typical funk song, here's your typical rock song. It kind of morphs into whatever we allow it. They just try and allow it to be what it is as it goes.
Yeah, we try and let each other stretch out a little bit with the ideas and stuff, and I think that we have a good balance of like making sure that it all works best for the song, and we just try and keep that in mind and just try and let